computer. All righty. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Fancy Pants Gardens membership. Everybody's coming on, and Julie has a little question about her peas. So I love it, Julie. You've got a video. Let's see it real quick.
Yeah. So the peas, the leaves are seem like they're flourishing. It just doesn't seem like it's producing a lot of fruit, a lot of the peas itself. But
Right.
I see flowers, so I think that's probably coming.
So that's exactly right. So
Yeah.
that's the neat thing. Peas produce flowers, and then every flower becomes a pea. That's what comes out. That's where the pea comes from, is the flower. Just like a tomato flower, the little yellow flowers on the tomato
Right.
plants, those are all going to be your tomatoes. So what I've been noticing is that it just takes a long time for the peas. It just seems like you get flowers, and now you're going to get more and more flowers, and you're just going to be like, there's just flowers, there's no peas, but they will.
Yeah.
They will come, I promise.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think that now, um, this is a question about fertilize for or pH?
okay.
I love those questions. But oh, not pH, no, fertilizing. That's right. Is now that they're flowering, is this a good time to add more and
Phosphorus.
phosphorus? Yeah, phosphorus.
Um, so once again, I'm going to go back to my standard answer. So I don't, you can do the scientific way, the pKa, the
NPK.
potassium, the phosphorus, and the nitrogen.
Hmm.
But really, the best thing for your plants is just compost or some kind of, really just compost and some worm castings or if,
Gotcha. I
yeah.
don't have compost, so I guess that's something I can buy, right? A star.
You know, uh, actually, and I forgot to do this today. I'm going to promise you guys, I'm going to send you a letter probably tomorrow. Well, I send the letter tomorrow with the replay. I'm going to find, so there's this company called Terra Vita or something like that.
Mhm.
And they actually pick up your scraps and they have their own compost pile and then they bring back compost to you. And to
Oh.
me, it is the best. I haven't tried them yet, but to me, that would be the closest thing to do, making your own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to write down to send you guys. You can
Yeah.
look into it to this company.
Cool.
I'm posting pickup service. S- So that would be the best.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
And otherwise, I would just continue with putting like some fox farm and worm castings.
Yep.
Okay, so we got Rosemary and Fawn and Christy and Julie. Good, everybody. Good to see you all. I'm gonna get started. I don't know where Anna is. She said she would be here today. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, put that down. Okay. All right. So we are going to talk a little bit about the spacing and the planting plans today. But first, as I promised, I'm very excited about this new format I'm going to do, which is really talking about what's going on in our gardens right this instant so that we can all make sure we're on the right track. So I like this part about talking about what we're harvesting because the newbies can see what they're going to be having in just a few months because it only takes about 2 to 3 months to have something you can harvest, which is exciting. So right now we've got arugula and I'm still getting lettuces that I'm harvesting. Kale's going great. As you can see, peas are coming on. Swiss chard just never stops. That's one of my favorite plants. It's a great plant. Parsley is going strong. According to Fawn, we planted cilantro just a few weeks ago, which is very late, but we put it in the shade and it's thriving. So that's great. Bok choy, oh, gorgeous bok choy. The dill is getting ready to bolt, but I'm still using it. Spinach, carrots, radishes, my celery is still going strong. All the herbs are flourishing, and so are the edible flowers. So this is what's so exciting about our spring, I'm sorry, that's our fall harvest, our cool weather plants. This is all stuff that we've been putting in months and months ago that is still thriving and still going strong. So this is what we all looked forward to right after we get through the hot summer. We're gonna start planting all over again. So we get two planting seasons in Las Vegas. We don't just have one, and we're harvesting. You're gonna see, once you get going, you're gonna be harvesting pretty much all year long. Very exciting. Very exciting. All right. So let's see here. What should you be planting this week? This is for Rosemary. So this is the list. I'm giving you guys specifically the list for seeds. If you want, you can definitely buy the plant if you want to spend more money, but there's no need. We have plenty of time for these to grow into full bloom. So you can start from seed, and that would be cucumbers, any type. Your watermelon, this is it. This is it. It's nice and warm. We can put watermelon in now. Again, let's remember, it's going to take up a lot of room. So if you don't have a lot of room, you might want to skip watermelon. Any kind of beans. You can do some Swiss chard if you wanted, and we can still just continue planting radishes and carrots and beets. And it's really fun to plant some sunflowers from seeds, but be careful. If you plant them, the sunflower seeds, you definitely want to cover them with some kind of a hoop and some kind of a cloth because the birds will come eat them. And zinnias are easy, and they don't really the birds don't usually eat those. Okay, here's a question for everybody. What is this if we were to plant this?
Basil.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good. That is a basil. That is correct. That is a basil. But what I was going to talk about is that this is called a seedling. So to me, that is so confusing when we call them seedlings. They look like, they're just the plants that we get at the store. But I just want to remind everybody, just as a vocabulary word, to remember that these are seedlings. So here is what I'm suggesting that we plant from seedling, because we are now in the middle of transitioning already. This is how fast it goes, you guys, from warm to hot. So we've got to look at the dates on the backs of the packages of our plants. So like, for instance, a tomato, if you go to select a tomato at the store, you're going to turn over the label and you're going to see it's going to say 40 to 60 to 90 days for it to harvest. So you got to get a big tomato plant now if we're going to get them in. This is sort of late. Peppers, you can put them in, but you need a plant. You can't do it by seed. Eggplant, you need a plant. All our herbs, go ahead and just buy the plant. If you want to add to your garden, this is the time to do it. I've had an interesting thing with the Thai basil this year. First of all, it's hard to find. Second of all, it was very healthy, and I planted it in two different people's gardens, and it didn't do very well. I planted it in my own garden, and it was doing terrible, and I saw that it was coming to flower. That's okay. I want to talk about this real quick too. The basil plants get little flowers on the top, and I want you guys to. Oh, does someone have a question? The basil plants start getting little flowers on the top pretty quickly. And I want you to pinch those off. You can eat them. They're edible. You can put them in your pesto, no problem. But do keep those flowers pinched off because it will, the plant will stop producing. So we want to keep that basil going because we got a long summer ahead of a ton of basil. So we want to keep that basil prune back. We want to keep everything. We want you to use your parsley and all your herbs. You have to get out there and use them because that's going to make them keep going. All right. So I was going to talk about the Thai basil, but now I just picked the flowers off the top and it's doing a lot better now. And you guys, did you see that note I did about the daily tasks of the garden? I gave you guys when I gave you guys an email earlier in the week that gave you your daily tasks. And one of them is definitely checking on all your flowers, your marigolds and your snapdragons or whatever you have in there. and make sure that you're deadheading them. That means just pinching off their heads once they're spent. Once they look like they're old and shriveled, just pinch off their heads, and you can toss them in the compost, and that keeps the flowers flowering.
And that applies to decorative stuff as well too. Yeah.
Decorative, like what do you mean decorative?
Like my Mexican blanket flowers I have in the front.
Yeah, any flower, yes, any flower that you see, even roses. If you see dead roses, just pinch them off. Actually, the roses are harder. You might want to get a little needle nose snipper for the roses. They're a little bit not so. But yeah, anytime you see dead things, you just pick them up. That goes for leaves and everything. So just remember to get out there and tend. So I do have a question for everybody, and you can unmute yourself. Are you guys getting out there on a daily basis?
I am.
usually do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm out here right now.
Yeah, you are. Julie's in the middle of a rehab. Is that going okay, Julie? Your house?
We're doing the kitchen literally
Yes,
right now.
you may as
Very
well
exciting.
just be outside. Not have to worry about you.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this is really helpful. I found this for you guys. I have never been able to find one like this before, and I wanted you to have this so that next time, well, whenever you get ready to plant, you can have a really clear understanding of how things grow. And this is all for the different seasons. So we know that, and then because most of us have garden grids, you know what a grid is, a 1 foot square. So we pretty much know that that's a given. So when you've got small plants, and that would be like your onions and your carrots and your radishes, your smaller little plants, you can have, and Julie Tran, you can know this because I don't know if you really want to do this or not, but you can stuff a lot in those little squares. You can get 6 to 9, 6 little things in there in each square. You don't have to keep a whole square foot per plant. You can really pack them in if you want to get more out of your garden. And then, and I think if you remember right, I had something called the plate method. So like a little salad plate, like a bread plate, that would be more like a medium-sized plant, a bread plate. And that would be like your kale or your parsley. Then if you have a large plate, like your dinner plate, that's going to be for your bigger plants. That's about how big, and let's go down a little ways, cucumber or tomato or peppers, but those are going to be bigger, like a larger plate. And then you have the extra, extra large, like a giant platter. And that would be, I didn't even know this. Have you guys ever grown horseradish? I guess that gets big. I've never seen it, but I bet you it would grow great here. And it'd be fun to try. Rhubarb and garden sage, potatoes, you guys know those take a ton of room. Zucchinis and squash and pumpkins and watermelon. They just take lots and lots of room. So anyway,
My sage is tiny.
what is that? Your sage?
Yeah.
Okay. That was a good
garden sage.
That says garden sage. That is when it says garden sage, I don't know what that means. I should take that out. I'm thinking like a big sage bush, like a bigger one.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're right. Just a little herb of sage. That's tiny. That's small. And
I thought my sage was doing me wrong. I thought it was supposed to be huge.
Good question. Yeah. Good questioning these things. And it's funny because they put that's another thing they put artichoke in large. Artichoke is huge. So I don't know why they did that. So anyway, this is a good little chart. I will be sending this out tomorrow to you guys so you can have it on hand and use it as you need it. But I'm just going to break it down a little bit. Again, the small plants fit, and it says 9 to 16 because you can imagine if you had a bunch of carrots and radishes, you could get quite a few in a square foot. These are all your small plants. Let me get Judy. Hey, Judy. These are all our small plants that can fit a lot in a little square. And that's like a bunching onion and your carrots and your spinach And your chives, you guys got to grow chives. They're so cute and don't take up any room at all.
And they
Sprinkle
have
beans.
beautiful flowers.
And they do make beautiful flowers and they're edible. Forgot about that. That's a good point. Do you know what came to flower today for me? And I'd never seen it before. I had a radish go to flower.
What?
Yeah, and it made this. I should have kept it. I could probably
Oh
find.
yeah, that happened here too.
Was it like a little pink flower?
Oh no, it was a little white. I want to say it's white.
White, really? Well, maybe it might be different radishes, but that
Yeah.
was pretty little pink flower. I was like, oh my goodness! I pulled it out and there was a radish at the bottom of it. Maybe it was a carrot. I don't know.
So, I have a habit of taking bouquets of herbs to my friends, like, when I get my hair cut or whatever. I took a bouquet of herb flowers and they were like, oh, those are beautiful flowers. I'm like, they're actually herbs. And she was like, wait, can I plant these? And I was like, yeah, you could take the seeds and plant the seeds. And
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, and the arugula flowers are so pretty. They're really pretty. And
my kale is flowering. My kale I planted over a year ago.
it's flowering. Cool.
And the
I've got-
bees are all over it. So I'm just letting it go.
Let it go. And then I just planted kale a month ago, and I'm getting beautiful kale coming up. So
Ooh.
you guys, this is a good example of succession planting. And that's why I really, really wanted to show you guys today and I've got everything on here today that I'm showing you are things you can plant right now. Because if you have a spot in your garden available, the small ones are especially easy to tuck them in between things. So be aware of what your small plants are and what they are right now that we are available to us to stick in our garden. This kind of stuff is going to be super valuable to you when you go to fall planting because you're going to see transitioning your hot summer plants into fall. Some things are going to be done, but then there's going to be some things that are going to keep going and you're going to be able to have to juggle everything around. So this is all good to know. And if no one has had a viola, which is so easy, little bitty, violas look like little tiny pansies. They are so easy to start with seed and they're so cute. I love them. And you can imagine they're these little tiny things. So they like a borage flower or a viola or a marigold. They're so pretty in salads and they're very impressive. And pansies are easy to tuck in places. So your medium is like I said, is like a salad plate. That's 2 to 4 plants per square foot. And our medium plants are right here. Rosemary gets quite big. Kale gets pretty big. Basil gets big. The beans are going to grow up. So you're going to have to make sure that you have some kind of a trellis. And of course, mint will take over if you let it.
Can I ask you a question, though, Jamie, about
Yes.
the spacing? When we're planting, should we be planting them? Should we be measuring it? I don't know if the measuring is the right word, but because I've just kind of been sprinkling seeds. Like
Say
a
that
lot of
again.
them.
You get what about? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said about seeds.
I've been sprinkling like lots of seeds.
Oh, sprinkling. Mhm.
Yes. And then, because I know that what we had talked about before
Yeah.
is like, you can kind of just do that
Yeah.
and not worry too much. And then we can thin it out later.
Yes.
Do
So
you
that's a
still
great
recommend
question.
that?
Yeah. So I was just, so
Sure.
definitely when you sprinkle seeds, I always like to make sure that you label wherever you're sprinkling with what you're sprinkling. You want to put a little label there so you know what it is. Because if it's coming up,
Trying to get him not in here, like maybe we can manage your for that way. Since Bruno can't get approved.
oh, I'm sorry, someone, if you guys, okay, so I didn't want to make sure that if anybody was, if they want to mute so that if you have background noise. Hey, Judy.
All right, let me try the egg.
Okay, thank you.
So there we go. Yeah.
Okay, so to answer your question, Julie Tran, the thinning is easier if you know what the plant is. Now, after a while, you're going to start recognizing the little seedlings. You're going to say, oh, I know what that is. But before that happens, it's very confusing because otherwise you don't know how much to thin. But you probably haven't put that many in. You probably know pretty much what's in there. But yeah, you want to thin them out and make sure that you give them enough room, because if you don't, it's just, it's,
All right, I'm ready.
oh,
Where's it? Hello?
oh, Judy?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought I was muted. I was looking for Skylar. He was out here helping me.
Oh,
Mute myself. Sorry. Hold on.
that's okay. Um, so Julie, what do you think you have planted that, so we can just sort of tell you right now how big? Julie Tran, what do you think you've got in there that you've sprinkled around?
Well, I have pretty much everything labeled, so I know.
Oh, good.
But
Okay.
I have a lot of kale seeds, and I know they get pretty big.
They get pretty big, yeah. And again, a kale can be a microgreen. So if you want to pull them out and put them in your salads, you won't waste them.
Yeah, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. It's always hard. It's always hard to thin. That's the hard part, that we just don't want to thin. And when you don't thin, then you're going to see that things get too close together and then they just don't produce. That's the big problem.
Right. So as long as you're thinning, then you're good with that method,
Yes.
sprinkling.
Yep.
Cool.
And
Thank you.
then you're welcome. And then your large, these are your large ones. Your tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, eggplant, and I hope everybody tries the okra because it's so pretty. And these are the extra larges. Okay, it's the artichoke, watermelon, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, squash, and zucchini. So I wanted to show you a couple of planting plans. This is more of a 3D one that I do. It's still pretty easy to do. You'd be surprised how easy it is to do. And it's really fun to do them because when you know the size of plants when you're going to the store, it helps you estimate how many plants to buy and how many seeds to buy. And that's one of the biggest things for a planting plan. Until you really, really understand how big things get, it's really helpful to have a planting plan. And then the second reason is that for the next year, you can remember what you planted, where you planted it, and then you can rearrange it a little bit. It's good to rearrange and not plant things in the exact spot as last time. It's not going to be horrible. Like for instance, tomatoes, they really encourage us not to plant the tomato in the same spot every year. But here's the secret. If we're doing all this succession planting, so let's say when the tomatoes get gone, after they get done in the summer, we will be planting beans in our spots. And the beans will bring the new nitrogen back into the soil so that you can grow tomatoes there again next year. So as long as you're growing, it's like a cover crop. As long as you're growing your cover crop, you're going to be okay. So you can do it this way. You can do it with it 3D looking, or literally on a piece of graph paper with colored pencils or some, just any kind of, watercolors, markers. I love making a key. It's a lot easier to make a key. And this is a good example of how you're squeezing in things into your square feet footage. So have fun with it. It's a little artsy part of it all.
Hey, Joe Jamie, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
It's Judy. On the tomato plants, you might have already said this because I came in late. As I remember, do you pick the bottom leaves as it's growing up to help the growth on the top, or do you just let it grow however?
Oh, that is such a good question, Judy. Okay, so there's a couple of methods as far as there's a couple of different theories on how you trim your tomato. So what was the prevalent one in the past, and guys might have known this. When you look at your tomato plant, there's going to be like a V here, and there's always these little shoots that come out of the V. And people used to say, always trim those little shoots off between the V's. And what they were saying is that if you do that, the energy will go toward whatever flowers are already on the plant, and you'll get bigger fruit. However, because our growing season is so short here, we do the opposite. We leave those on because anything that comes into a V like this is going to be a flowering plant. Now, the other type of leaves, so anything below the flowers that's going straight out parallel to the ground, those are usually just leaves and they're not going to have any flowers on them. So you can pick those off. So your tomato will look like a stem with flowers and leaves, but it's going to look top heavy basically. But that's supposed to be really the best way to go. Does that make sense, Judy?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I muted myself.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, thanks. Thanks so
Okay.
much. And then just, and then I'm going to mute myself again. Do you recommend or do you think it's necessary to put food in your water?
Oh, okay. So that would just be fertilizing it. And that's called, is it foliating? Foliating? I can't remember. There's a name when you fertilize with water. And I know, Judy, you have a company called Arbor that is supposed to be very organic, and I'm sure it is. I haven't really researched enough. It does look very good. I have looked at it. So yes, again, fertilizing is tricky because depending on what the fertilizer has in it is going to encourage different things. So for instance, when you are planting your new plants right in the ground or your seeds, you want to encourage root growth. So that's going to be a different vitamin than if when your plant is in flower, which most of our plants right now are in flower, and they're going to need a different nutrition. If you put nitrogen, too much nitrogen right now in your if you fertilize with a lot of nitrogen right now, let's say you had a tomato plant, that nitrogen is going to really encourage it to keep making green leaves. And I've heard so many people tell me, oh, my tomato never got flowers. It just had green leaves. And I could say, did you fertilize it? And they'll be like, oh, yes, we fertilized it. Well, that's what happened. Your fertilizer had too much nitrogen in it and encouraged it to make too many green leaves. Now, when you put that tomato in the ground a month ago, yeah, you can put something in it like that to help the roots get strong. So you've asked me a loaded question as far as fertilizer. And that's why I like to always recommend that we don't even bother with the fertilizing that much, because if you make your own compost or you find compost or you buy compost and you use some worm castings, that's basically all you need to put on there. And you can use that all year long. And there's no getting too much of it. It's not going to burn your plants. It's the easiest way to keep your soil healthy is to just use compost and worm castings, other than and you can use other like chicken manure or horse manure, but those have to be, you can't just put them in there when you get them. Like you have to make sure that they've set and been old, and they have to be like 3 months old minimum. They can't have any smell to it because otherwise it will burn your plant.
So Jamie, when we go and put compost with plants that are already in the ground,
Right.
my dad called it side dressing.
Yes, that's exactly right. It's called.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called side dressing. So what it is that you're just on top of the soil, you're just putting that compost on the side, just right around the base of the plant. And that's called.
If you're also throwing new seeds in there, kind of at the same time, that's okay.
Yes, but so I don't know if you guys realize this, but compost is not soil.
Right.
So things don't really grow well, they can. It just depends. But if you just filled your entire bed with compost, it wouldn't be very good. That's why your soil needs to be made up of 3 things: topsoil, compost, and sand. Those are the 3 things. The sand's for drainage, the compost is for nutrients, and the topsoil is for something for the roots to grab onto. So that's your soil. That's your makeup of your soil. And that's what you need. So, I'm not sure. It's funny that you're saying that, Rosemary, because, there's so many times that I'll have composted and then like just now, I've got some compost put around my lemon tree and I'm seeing, I don't know, some kind of a squash or a zucchini coming up. And that's just been in compost. Yeah, right?
I've had that same thing happen already.
Yeah, so
In
that's
fact,
what I'm
I have
saying. That those survived in just compost. So that's why I'm doing, a little round around circle about will it work? I don't know. Those seeds tend to be a zucchini seed and a squash seed and a pumpkin seed. Those are large seeds, and they tend to sprout anywhere. So I don't know. Truthfully, you could do an experiment. I don't know what kind of seeds were you thinking about planting around your side dressing.
I'm just gonna go back through what I've already planted and plant more of the same seeds because I have a lot of space still around my
Okay, good.
seedlings that are already coming up.
Good. I would
Like
do
my
that. I think
bunching
it'll be fine.
onions,
You know what I would do,
kale,
Rosemary? You know
spinach.
what I would do? I would plant them in the side dressing and then I would sprinkle potting soil on top of it
Okay.
and water it just to give it a little bit of oomph to it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now, this is this is really cool. Who knows what this bug is? You guys are going to die when you hear what this bug is. This is a good bug. This is a ladybug. And I want to show this to you because Julie, you do not want to kill this bug. This bug is a good bug. So I'm going to show you the life cycle. Look how cute. I want to show you the life cycle of a ladybug. So the ladybug lays his eggs, and this is what comes out of the egg. It's like a larva. And then it does like a butterfly thing where it becomes a pupa, whatever. And then that's a young ladybug, the yellow one. And then I guess it shed its skin. I don't know I don't really know the whole scientific thing of it. But that is, right now, you might see this bug around. And that is a ladybug. And they eat aphids. And they're very, very
Thank
good.
God you showed us this. I would not have thought of the first picture as something beneficial.
I agree. And it was so funny because it came up this week in one of my classes that I teach. Somebody asked about this bug, and I was like, oh, I better show this to everybody because it's happening right now. Those are out there. So that is a ladybug larva. All right. So that was the lesson for today.
Well,
So
I just made a horrifying discovery that my new artichoke was absolutely covered in aphids. So I'm attacking it with my Castile soap and water solution.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So did you buy it from the store?
I did.
Okay. So
That's another reason why
Rosemary,
growing from seeds is better, right? Because they don't come with problems.
Rosemary, okay, wait, I'm going to put everybody up here so we can see everybody. That is a good cautionary tale of how we should be definitely, hold on a second, let me get everybody up here. There we are, Laura. Rosemary, thank you for sharing that because that is something that I want to talk about when we go to buy plants at the store. I want to do a real quick review right now. Speaking of buying plants at the store, some of you know this, but some of you guys are new. When you go to buy plants at the store, there's a couple of things. Number one, you want to when you got that artichoke, did you look at it over, Rosemary, or was it under the leaves? You don't know, you didn't really notice?
No, I did not see. I mean, it was just, it is like two leaves that are just completely black with it right now. So no, that was not happening at the store.
You know what I would do? Did you go to that Star?
Yeah.
I would just take it back.
You're like, oh, this thing is covered in aphids.
Yeah, because I bet you their other ones are too. So, I mean, seriously, I would call them before you make a trip. But you you were always over there by True Fusion anyway, so you're right there. I would just bring it back in there and say, hey, because that's not right. But you're right. These plants at the stores can come with some diseases, so you should be checking them before you buy them. Here's another tip. Do not buy plants that are on sale because there's two reasons why. Number one, it's usually going to mean the sale plant usually means that it's out of season. So I bet you if you go to Star, there's going to be things on sale right now that are cold winter plants that just won't even do good. So be aware. And they also usually look very puny and yellow and leggy. Do y'all know what leggy? I'm writing some of these words down. I'm gonna have a dictionary of terms. So leggy means the plant has got long, that it's from where the stem is in the soil, the stem is long with the leaves are way ahead, like it's a long stem, and then the leaves are up here. So it's sort of leggy looking. And that's not healthy. So you don't want leggy plants, you don't want unhealthy plants, you don't want yellowy plants. You want to make sure when you buy plants they're healthy, and you want to see if it's root bound. So take it out of the pot and look in there, or if you can even turn it over. If there's a ton of roots coming out of the pot at the bottom, that's an older plant. It's not going to be as young and vibrant. Not that you can't buy it, but just know that it's not as young and vibrant. And if you had a choice and there was other plants around that were similar, find the one that doesn't have roots coming out the bottom of the pot. So those are some tricks to buy. Also, when you're buying a plant, if it has a flower on it or fruit, that means it's older too. So you want to get the plant that the flowers are still closed up. You might not know what color it is, but that's the risk you have to take. That's a better, like a lot of times, like when you're seeing all the marigolds right now, you can see a bunch that the marigolds have not opened yet. Buy those. Those are good. Those are the younger ones. The ones that are all open and they're, looking beautiful, don't buy those. Tomatoes, same thing. Don't buy the tomato plant with all the tomatoes. There's going to be tomato plants right now on the shelf that have actual green tomatoes on them. Do not buy those. That's just because it means they're older. Okay.
I just discovered something else devastating. A different kind of aphid is all over the kale that's flowering, but just on the flowering part. So I need to cut that off and not throw it in the compost, right?
So yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, you don't want to put anything with a disease or a bug on it in your compost. Is it the white kind of aphid?
Yeah, they're like greenish white.
Yeah, the greenish ones. Okay. Yeah, get those off of there. The other way, so everybody, an aphid can be like you said, Rosemary said, they can look differently. Normally, they look a lot of times they're little white, they're tiny little white things. They're not going to bite you, but they're going to eat your plant alive. So what you do is you can easily get a paintbrush of some sort and just brush them off. And they sort of fly away. And once they unattach to the plant, it kills them. So don't worry about them. If you get them, once you get them off, you can actually squirt them with the hose, or you can brush them with the paintbrush. Once they come off, they won't come back. It looks like they might, but they won't. So you have to be diligent with it and keep going. There's lots of different ways that we can attack pests. And the easiest way is to start off just naturally brushing them off or whisking them away or just cutting them off. And then the second line of defense is like a Castile soap, which you can buy and you mix with some water and spray that on there. And there's all sorts of different mixtures. You can do Dawn soap with some garlic and some cayenne pepper. Oh, how pretty. Which are those? Is that like what is that? Broccoli or? Those are so pretty. Those are pretty, Rosemary. So anyway, if you're getting some pests, there are ways to deal with it. Okay, anybody else with a question? I love it that you guys put your cameras on and go out in your garden. Let's see here. Does everybody feel good about what they have for tools? Does everybody have a bucket so they can put things in buckets? Does everybody have, you have a bucket?
Yeah, I did not have a bucket before I did this class with you, and I love it. I'm like, where's my little bucket with all my little things?
Yep. Once you get a bucket, you can't be without your bucket. Got to have a bucket, got to have your scissors, got to have your pruners, have get ready now because I'm already twining up. Does everybody know how to twine up their things? Should I go outside and show you guys how to make something climbing? Let me go do that real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, so when you have tomatoes or beans, they're going to want to get up that trellis. You're going to want to have to get some twine or some kind of a tape of some like different types of tape. I have a Velcro tape I use. I'm going to show you my tape. So here's my tape. Comes like this. And it's
Is that like Velcro zip tie?
well,
Or
this
would that
isn't,
work
I'll
with
show you what
Velcro?
this is. I'll show you how you do this. It's pretty cool.
Love that thing.
Yeah.
It works really well.
I wish I had my husband
It's
here.
not like a zip tie, but it's just one piece that's double-sided. That's
Yes.
the whole thing.
Yeah, so this is cool
So
because
you just cut it whatever length
yeah, you cut it whatever. This is too big.
Yeah.
This is what I have. This
Ah.
side is a light, it's very soft. It feels very soft. And then this is the Velcro side. It's got the Velcro on it. And you literally just put it around and then see it Velcros, it sticks.
Ooh.
So it's very easy to use. I'll show you. I've got some peas here that I've done. And oh, here they are. See, I've got them. Wait, let's see if I can get this turned around. You see, you know what? Why would they make it green? Because you cannot see it. But it's just right here. Can you see that? I've just got it tied right here. So let's just say I'll do some more. Here, I'll do this is like I said, this is way too big.
Can you make your screen bigger than your PowerPoint?
Oh, you know what? I can do that. Hold on 1 second. I'll make it my, oh wait, someone wants to come in. Okay, so here we go. Let's see here. My screen, I think my screen view. I'm trying to find the view.
I just clicked on your screen and you got bigger.
Oh, you clicked on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you just click on me.
Okay. Thank
Oh, you-
you.
oh,
I
that's
did
a
that
good-
too.
thank
Now you're
you.
bigger. Okay.
Okay. Oh, wait. Now I got this thing messed up here. Let me get rid of that. Ah. Anyway, let's see if I can get there. I got everybody over here. Oh, this is it. What I was trying to do. Get everybody bigger. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to come over here again and show you guys. So let's just say there was a plant here, and then you just take your, here's a plant. Wait, see, I'm not doing this very good. This is hard to do.
You need 3 hands.
I need 3 hands exactly. Wait. I'm trying to look backwards, but you just wrap it around the plant. And I always put the soft side towards the plant and the Velcro side, but you're not seeing what I'm doing. Are you? Oh yeah, then the Velcro.
Yeah,
and
we
then
can see.
wrap it around, and there it is. Did you guys see
And
that?
do you have to kind of move it along as it grows?
Oh, you know what?
Changing
That's actually a really
location?
good question. You do sometimes, but most of the time you don't for some reason. I've got to show you these peas, you guys. This is such a cool piece. This lady gave me her peas from Canada. Where am I? These are purple peas.
Wow.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying about getting some cool things. And you know,
I planted those too. I'm excited.
oh, you did. Oh, where'd
I
you get
planted
the
them from
seeds?
seed. From Star.
So this is, you know what, you guys, I would love to do a seed swap where we could all swap seeds. It's
Yes.
so much fun to do that. And my borage is so pretty. Look at these flowers, you guys. Wait, where is it?
Those are beautiful. Those are the seeds you have
Aw.
to, aren't those the ones you had to like scrape or something?
Oh, no. Okay. No. So those are nasturtiums. And let me show you them. They're so pretty. They're the flowers aren't here yet, but I put them below my lemon tree.
Oh,
And aren't they cute? These are all edible. This leaf is edible. And they're doing so cute. They're all perky and cute around my,
These are really cute.
they're really cute. And they're gonna get bright orange flowers. And these are the violas.
What are those
Let me
called?
show you guys. The violas are so pretty. Look at the violas. Wait, Megan.
oh, those are so.
Oh, they're cute.
Aren't they cute? They're so cute.
Yes.
Yes. And you
They're
know,
really cute on salad. Are they edible?
yes, these are the edible. These
I feel like I've seen them on like salads or it's adorable.
they're wait, where can I show you? They're so
Don't
good.
you guys think? Okay, I'm just throwing an idea out there, but maybe one of these days we could do like a dinner party
Oh,
where
no,
we're
no,
like,
I'm planning
confirm
on
our
it. No,
veggies.
you guys,
Are you?
I'm totally going to do it. And I wanted to show you I did these from seeds. I did a different type of marigold. It's called a hop marigold. And I really think they're pretty. I like them. They're different than the other kind of marigolds.
Beautiful.
Or where you're breaking up.
Oh, am I breaking up? Am I breaking up? Shoot.
Could be me, but yeah.
Okay, let me
I
see what
think you
else.
were breaking up.
But my tomatoes are already getting tomatoes out here, which is fun. And I did want to show you guys one more thing. Did I show you these? These are, if you get critters, you can put these right over your plants if you get critters, and they'll save your plant.
Oh,
Yeah, and I've got a bunch. If you guys need them, let me know. I've got a bunch. I think they're like $12 a piece or $10. They're not very expensive.
Yes, save one for Judy for my tomato. I know if I get a critter.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what I was saying. Judy, I actually was really worried about you because you're
Yeah,
out
so
there.
all of a
Judy's
sudden, you
She is
guys,
out
tell
there.
them
We
the
had a
story.
coyote or something dig up her.
I don't know what it was. It dug up my whole irrigation system.
It
It
was
was like across the pool.
what? My
it was
gosh.
she called me one day and she's like, "Did you guys come and remove the irrigation system?" We're like, "No." And then when we got there was a giant hole in the middle of the
A giant hole. And then I found another hole just recently by our big cactus. So something is digging around. I don't know what.
Oh my gosh.
But I've got all the cameras working, so I will eventually see what it is.
Okay, good. We're got the mystery. We got the mystery thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, so
It's probably
Red
that's the thing
handed.
about
It's probably like a big desert rat or something.
yeah.
Probably.
I don't know. That has to be a desert dinosaur because the thing is huge.
I know, it was a big hole and dirt everywhere.
Christy, do you have a question, hon? I was wondering. I see Christy with her. I love that we're all out in our gardens, you guys. This has got to be part of it. I love it. Look at Julie's got her gardening apron on.
Yeah. You know what I just noticed?
I'm
My
going through my seeds. I gotta plant some more stuff, guys.
Okay, see this? Okay, so this is how I'm going to end the call today. Rosemary's planting. You guys, you have to keep planting. That's the hardest part. It's so easy. You get your whole garden going and it looks great. But then before you know it, like I picked a bunch of radishes the other day. Now I've got holes in my garden. So I got to keep planting. And so
And lettuce was not on your list, huh? No more lettuce?
lettuce is done. We won't do any more lettuce now.
Darn it.
Okay, I unmuted myself. I figured out how. But
Oh, good. Yeah. So Chrissy, I knew I had a feeling I could just tell you were wanting to ask a question.
I was just gonna say, so am I looking like under leaves like this for any type of aphids and stuff? And are they going to be pretty apparent? I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. I'm trying to make it where we can make your screen bigger.
Some of them are black and they're super easy to see, but then and then the ones that are like whitish green, they're hard to see, but you'll see them. It's like your plant has loads of like warts on it or something.
Oh, okay. And they're like top and bottom.
Oh yeah.
They can be
Mostly on
top
the
and bottom. And
Yeah.
so, Christy, one more thing, because we haven't had it yet, but down the line, when you're watching your tomatoes grow,
Uh-huh.
you want to make sure if anybody sees little black dots on top of it's on top of the leaf. The tomatoes are going to have problems on top of the leaves. There's not going to be anything underneath. Well, there will be something, you won't know it. That is the black dot on a leaf of a tomato is 100% the sign of a tomato hornworm. And the tomato hornworm will be underneath the leaves, but you will never see them because they are so tiny and they're so they look exactly like the vein of a leaf. So they're super hard to spot. But the way to spot them is to go out at night with a black light.
Oh my God.
You will see you will see them then. And then you just pick them off and you can either put them in some sudsy water and they'll die, or you can, I know it's gross, but I do take my scissors and I just snip them in half because you really want to get rid of them. And that, to me, I don't have to touch it. And that's the easiest way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But now we're sort of in a honeymoon stage right now with most things besides Rosemary's artichoke, but we're sort of in a honeymoon stage right now because we've got fresh soil, everything's healthy, we've just planted, and things are the weather has turned warm, and things are just going to start going beautifully. And unless a few things like right now, I did go out in one of those nasturtiums in that little pot that I had done with all the under my lemon tree, all those nasturtiums were fine, except for someone came in and ate one. So sometimes I'll eat just one, and sometimes I'll just gnaw the whole thing down. So I had planted violas in that pot earlier in the year, and something had come in and ate them all. So I don't have, but the violas in my raised bed, no one touched them. So you guys, it's just one of these things where we, we're just going to have to play it by ear and know, I want to forewarn you, unfortunately, we're going to have tragedies and we're going to have things getting eaten and all that kind of stuff and burnt up. And, there's all sorts of tragedies, but we definitely persevere and we just keep planting. We keep going.
I'm just like imagining you at night in your black light going outside like Dexter.
I tell you, I'm going to get Eric to video me. I'm going to get him to
That would
video
make a really good reel. That would make a really good reel.
And you said that was a black dot on the top of the leaf, yeah?
Yes, the black dot on top of a tomato plant is.
Can you just remove the whole leaf?
No.
There?
You don't.
No. Okay.
You don't remove anything.
Okay.
But you have to then figure out where that worm is. So you think about it. If it's dropped down, it's up. It's usually up somewhere, but it's going to be under those leaves. And if you go at night, that's when they're really munching away, and you can sort of see them wiggling around. So sometimes you can see them. Julie is not.
No, we're just like killing them with that they're happiest.
Yeah.
They don't even see it coming.
No.
Oh my God.
But oh my gosh, I can't wait till we have some. We're gonna have people come out and tell us their experiences. But hopefully you won't. Hopefully you won't have to do it. But unfortunately, I have a feeling it does happen, and I've gone through seasons with them and gotten rid of them, and still had plenty of tomatoes. So we can share a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, hey, everyone. I have something to share that might be helpful.
Okay.
I was just out here and the sprinklers or the sprinkler system came on, and I noticed that the water wasn't coming out of all the holes.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have known that if I wasn't out here at the right time. But I just took some toothpicks and I punctured it, and then now we have water again. Although
Yeah,
I don't
that's our
recommend
water.
toothpicks though, because it'll break. I just need to find maybe like a safety pin or something. That would probably be
Or a
better.
paper clip. Yeah. Push it in.
Yeah.
That's actually such a good idea. And so most everybody here has the garden grid. And the other thing about the garden grid, okay, this is great, Julie. Julie, thank you for asking that question. So there's a couple of things. Remember, your soil is going to compact. So you want to keep adding fresh soil on top. So you have plenty of soil, and you just pick up that garden grid and shake it and let it set on top of the soil. Also, each tube in each of the squares, you can twist them. And as the water's coming out, and Julie, you know this too, you can twist it to make sure that it's not going down or up or something. So you can twist that. It's pretty easy to twist.
Yeah.
And I love that idea of being aware that some of the holes get clogged, because they do. We have so much calcium in our water, they can get clogged, and they can get clogged with dirt and different things. So yeah, make sure your irrigation is working and it's not clogged. And you will have to replace it at some point, but everybody here has pretty much got new irrigation, so we're all good. Okay.
I don't have the grid system, but I recently bought some soaker hose,
Okay.
which I'm pretty happy with, I think.
Yeah. No. So
It hooks into my existing. Yeah.
Rosemary, you've got such a huge setup that I don't even know if a garden grid would even work for you. So yeah, soaker hoses are perfectly fine.
And those don't get clogged, right?
Oh, I don't know
They're
about
like-
that. I think they do.
I mean, I don't know if they could get clogged, but because the whole thing soaks out. But
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's like a sponge.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I think you're right.
No.
What I'm thinking is,
Lay down.
what I'm
No,
trying
lay
to say is
down.
it probably will wear out at some point and not
yeah.
work properly. Because
But it was
it's
for me, it was the
decompose.
best solution for the shape of my garden, you know.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay. Is there? I'll take a
okay.
couple of more questions before we'll go. Anybody else have a specific question?
I have a question, Joe Jamie.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see these little tiny sprouts. We didn't happen to label them. And I
Oh,
don't know,
okay.
would you recognize what I have this one and this one, and then I think that's a bean because we did plant beans, but
I'm trying
I
to
don't
make you
would
bigger.
that be a bean too?
Can anybody else make her bigger? I can't make her. Wait. Where
Are
is
I think
those
if you have
radishes?
her, if you put on like speaker view.
So that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
yeah, I was trying to figure that out. Let's see here.
Are those radishes?
Look, here we go.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's
So
see.
you'd have to unshare your
Okay.
screen.
Oh, I'll unshare my screen. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay, there we go. Oops. And let's see, view. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
See
Here we
that
go.
now?
I still see your screen, Joe Jamie.
Oh, you do. Stop share. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
did
go.
I break
There we
up?
Okay, so we've got Christy's Zoom. Oh, here we go. Perfect. We got Christy. That looks like a bean. So Christy, talk. If you talk,
This is the
Christy,
bean and that one.
that looks like, doesn't
And
that
then
look
that
like a
one.
bean? Oh, that's a bean for sure. I have no idea what
That one back there.
That's a bean for sure. That could be a cucumber. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Huh.
I can't remember what we planted.
I'm sorry. It doesn't look familiar
It'll be
to
a surprise.
It will be a surprise.
And
I
then I
apologize.
have this little one.
Oh, now you got stuck. Oops. I don't know how to tell people to get unstuck. Does anybody, there is Julie. Okay, let's go back. If you talk, okay, there you are, Christy. Talk again, because we'll come back to you if you talk.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So we did label these, and they're my sunflowers. And it kind of looks similar, like they have those fuzzy little leaves. And these guys feel kind of fuzzy to me. So
Okay, that could be a sunflower.
maybe it's a sunflower.
Yep, you know what? I could see that being a sunflower. I could see that being a sunflower.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think that is.
And are they okay under my I think they got planted under my big obelisk.
You know what
they
I would do? You know what I
Do
would
okay.
do? When it gets a couple of more leaves on it, I would dig it up and put it somewhere else.
Okay.
Look how good your basil's
Okay.
doing.
I know.
And you guys, that's
He's
just the
really good.
beginning.
I just harvested some too. So
Oh, good. So that's
nice.
yeah, you can dig those sunflowers up and put them somewhere else if you want. But you got to remember,
Okay.
Yep, they'll be fine. Those are
Okay,
pretty hardy
cool.
to transplant. Some things don't like transplanting, but I think sunflowers are pretty easy to transplant.
Okay, great.
Good question.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. If I can take one more question, if anybody has one more question, otherwise we'll wrap it up. Anybody else? Fawn, are you still driving?
I've been back and forth. I was home and then I had to leave again.
Oh, well, at least
But
you
I did plant my jalapeno plant where that flower had died while I was at home.
see. So that's what happens. She had a death in the family and just put another, and that's even better because it's an edible plant that you can eat it. You couldn't eat the other one, so made room for something new. Out with the old, in with the new. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for showing up. This is great. And next week, oh, I can't remember what I have. I've already started on next week, so I can't remember what we're doing. But I'll just keep in touch. And I love our little side chat. I'm gonna be moving us over to Facebook eventually, but Meanwhile, I like our little side chat or texting chat group. Judy, you're not on there. Judy, do you think you'd like to be added? We have a text.
Sure.
A
Yeah.
group chat. Yeah.
Okay,
That'd be
I'll add you
great.
in there. I just don't want to put people in there that don't want to be there. I might go ahead.
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
And I know that Candace is out of town right now. I'm going to go
Yes.
ahead and put her in there, but please feel free to take your guys' self off if you don't like it, because we're going to be moving everybody over to Facebook eventually.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, good. All right. Good class, good questions. Thank you, guys. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Joe Jamie.
Thanks
Bye.
for Jamie.
See you guys in
Happy
2
planting,
weeks.
everyone.
Yes, have fun.
Bye.
Bye.